All right, welcome back for the Star Trek Rewatch. I do this every Thursday. We are over halfway through season 3 of the show, so we're wrapping things up slowly but surely. This series will be concluding just a couple months from now. So we are in the home stretch. We'll just talk about this one. This episode this week is titled Whom Gods Destroy. Now, here you see the two Kirks and Spock having to choose between them. We'll get into the plot synopsis, as always, from Alan Asherman's Star Trek Compendium, and I will kind of give commentary as I see fit as I read through this synopsis. This shouldn't take too long because I don't think I have a whole lot to say about this one, other than Leonard Nimoy did not care for this episode. I think he wrote his displeasure to the producers, saying that it was too similar to season 1's episode Dagger of the Mind. In fact, a prop from that episode appears in this. They reused the same chair that was used for Dr. Van Gelder, right? In that episode from season 1, that same chair appears in this episode here. So let's get right into it. The writer for this was Lee Irwin. It was a story by Jerry Soule and Lee Irwin. The director was Herb Wallerstein. Stardate 5718.3. Kirk takes the Enterprise to Elba 2, home of an asylum for the galaxy's last insane humanoids. He has brought a new drug that, when used in conjunction with other treatments, can cure these individuals. Beaming down, Kirk and Spock are met by the colony's governor, Donald Corey. Now, Donald Corey here was played by, what was this guy's name here? Key Luke, who appeared in a lot of films from the 1930s, but he's probably best known as being the master for Kane, right? David Carradine's character in Kung Fu, the series. This character here, played by Key Luke, right? Same dude. Played Kane's Kung Fu master in that series. So Donald Corey, the governor of the colony, turns out to be Garth of Izar, a brilliant former starship captain. Now an inmate of Elba 2. He's gone insane, right? He has a mysterious shape-changing power that apparently he got this ability to shapeshift from some alien. I don't know exactly how this works, but he learned their shape-changing technique. So he's a metamorph. He can change his appearance, kind of like Mystique from the X-Men, right? So he's impersonating Corey. Of course, he tricks Spock and Kirk, and now they are his prisoners. Garth has freed his fellow inmates and has taken over the asylum. Now he seeks to gain possession of the Starship Enterprise. His attempts involve impersonation, so he tries to make himself, he assumes Captain Kirk's form, contacts the ship and says to beam me up. And Scotty says, aye. And he says, the Queen's level 3. And of course, this was something that Kirk was supposed to give the countersign to. It's a chess move in order for Scotty to beam him up. Well, obviously, Garth of Izar doesn't know the response. So Scotty refused to beam up Kirk on his orders, and McCoy recognizes that something is wrong, although they don't know what. At this point, we get to see William Shatner playing the shapeshifted Garth of Izar have a temper tantrum, starts pounding his hands on the floor like a child. It's pretty funny. It had me busting up. It's some of Shatner's finest Shatnerisms, right? It's great. Pretty funny. He fails to get them to beam him up, so he's now using the beautiful inmate Marta, an Orion woman. Of course, she's all green here, played by Yvonne Craig, a former ballerina, trained dancer. Yvonne Craig is probably best known for her role as Batgirl in the 1966 season 3 of Batman, starring Adam West and Burt Ward, of course, as the Caped Crusaders. That character was created specifically for the television show. as the ratings began to plummet in the third season, they conceived of the Batgirl character, although it did not save the show, which ran 3 seasons. It kind of, we got the introduction of Yvonne Craig. She's great. She's great as Batgirl in that series, and she's great here as Marta. She's kind of the standout of the episode for me. She's very funny. She has great comedic timing. Of course, she dances in this episode. So she gets to showcase a lot of her abilities as an actor. And she's kind of like, as I said, the standout of this episode. Garth eventually has Marta dragged out into the poisonous atmosphere of the planet beyond the asylum dome and killed with a powerful explosive he has invented. Mr. Spock, left in command of the Enterprise, cannot penetrate the asylum's force field to aid Kirk, but Spock manages to escape his guards, only to discover that Garth has transformed himself into Kirk's double. The Vulcan correctly deduces which one is the imposter, and after control of the asylum is restored to Corey, we see that Garth is on his way to recovery. I really don't have a whole lot to say about this. I mean, the wrap up the episode, Spock essentially says that he was waiting to see which one won the fight between the two Kirks. He figured it would be Garth of Izar because he thought that he was stronger, which is kind of hilarious in a way, doubting his captain's ability to win in the, fisticuffs. But ultimately, it's given away because of the fact that the real Kirk preserves the ship, puts the ship above his own personal safety. That's what causes Spock to realize which one is the fake, is because that self-sacrifice to preserve the crew and the vessel. Really don't have a whole lot to say about this one. Obviously, it does have a lot of recycled plot elements that we've seen before. As I said, the standout performance or the highlight of this episode was the beautiful Yvonne Craig. And I guess that's really all I have for you. So let me know what you think about this one below. And next week we will resume whichever episode's next. I don't happen to know. I didn't look ahead. But till then, live long and prosper. Have a wonderful day.